Hello, my badass boys and badass babes. It's your favorite queen of the Shadowlands, Virgo the Vixen. And before we start today's life little lesson, make sure you hit your likes and subscribe buttons down below. Okay, so today's video, we're going to be talking about a little bit more about weddings, okay? Now, why am I picking weddings? Because it's coming upon wedding season, and so I thought I would sit down and talk to you guys about some of the, how can we say this, the people, that work in the bridal industry. And that's what we're going to talk about, mainly is the people and the things that go on to prepare the bride before her big day. Now, before I start today's life lesson, I want to give a proper, massive shout out to everyone who works in any bridal store, flower shop, cake place. When we walk in, I guarantee you, you guys have my utmost love and respect for dealing with bridezillas, okay? All right, now that I got that out of the way, let me tell you what happens, okay? When someone says, I do, and they decide to throw their life into the abyss, get married, certain things happen between the point where they say, I will marry you, to the point where they actually go through the ceremony. And that's usually, the planning of the wedding. And especially for the bride. Now, I'm going to just focus mainly on that. The first rule is, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if you're the groom, I don't care if you're a family member of the bride, I don't care if you're the father of the bride, don't go, okay? Don't go with them while they do some of this, okay? Most of this stuff can be done just by the bride and the women of the families, okay? I would, if I was the groom, yeah, you definitely want to go with for the flowers and maybe the cake, but everything else you don't want to be a part of. So now that we've established that fact, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, number one, things aren't cheap. Wedding dresses aren't cheap. Shoes, venues, flowers, cakes. Everything is not going to be cheap. So if you're the father of the bride or if you're the one paying for it, here's an idea. Just hand the checkbook over and walk away, all right? I'm going to save you basically, it's going to be cheaper than going to the hospital over an aneurysm that you will have from the bill, okay? Just shut up, hand the checkbook over, and go do something else, because I guarantee you, if you're part of this process, you will have an aneurysm. Okay, and here's why. Guys, when you go shopping for your tux and accessories, your book is this thick. And this is going to be the second reason that people don't understand, especially when it comes to the brides. Your book is this thick. That is accessories, tuxedo, cummerbund, vest, you name it, it's this thick. Okay, it's this thick for just one accessory for us. That could be just shoes. The total volume could be as this thick. Basically, you have a couple Russian novels worth of pages that just fit just for our accessories and the dresses. Now, I want to go back to that main theme of the people who work in the bridal industry, because I want to talk next about the bridal shop, okay? And again, my shout out to those who work in a bridal store. Massive love, massive respect, because here's what happens when a bride walks in. Okay, every clerk in their mind is thinking, get me the damn bottle of alcohol, because I'm going to need to get drunk today. Because here's what will happen. A bride will literally systematically go through almost the entire store looking for that one dress that makes them feel perfect, okay? Here's the deal. You could have, 6 different dresses, and the bride will like them, okay? She will try them on, but for one reason or another, she'll cancel this dress out, this dress, and this dress. And here's the deal. It's not how can we say, just the bride's decision. She'll have her crew with her. And what I mean by crew, I mean her bridesmaids and maybe her mom and probably a few other close friends that will give her, suggestions like, maybe this makes you look too fat, or maybe this doesn't cover up certain areas, or maybe it makes you look like a slut. Sometimes you get those comments. But anyways, the people who are working at the bridal shop, just keep this in mind. They have to deal with this on a daily basis, okay? Up their pay, okay? Whoever works at the bridal shop, Give them a few bucks more. Hell, make sure that there is wine on tap or some kind of alcohol on tap, okay? Just saying, is it legal? No. Should it be? Yes. But anyways, with the bridal shops, like I said, you have a bride who goes through all these things, and finally, when she finally gets the dress, she finally settles on, okay, the bride is saying, okay, this is the dress that I want the whole world to see me in on my special day. Is it over? No, it's not over. This comes to the next portion that most men never understand. You see, once you get a tux, that's it. Cool, you're good. We have to have our dress altered. We go through several fittings to have our dress altered before the wedding starts. Okay? I don't know how many times the average bride goes to get her dress altered, but it is astronomically too many. All right? Because let's face it, ladies, we have to spend so much time, looking at patterns, looking at this, cakes, the flowers, you name it. It's crazy because it is time consuming. And guys, on certain things, you need to be there. I'm not saying you should abandon this altogether. No. When it comes to picking out the dress, yes, please stay away. But when it comes to picking out flowers, the cakes, because we're going to get to those next. All right, now I'm going to talk about those. Flowers are very important at a wedding, okay? And guys, you definitely need to be here for this, okay? You need to be part of this little joyous moment because this is also your wedding too. So you need to man up and suck these next two parts up. I guarantee you, it's not going to be pleasurable. It's going to be basically having someone rip your fingers and nails off of it, or at least that's how you guys view it. But when you look at flowers and flower arrangements, this says a lot about your wedding, okay? You do not want the bride just to solely pick everything out, okay? Bad idea, okay? Why? It's also your day too. So you need to be there. You need to look at the flowers and go, okay, does this suit us? Does this go with our theme? And if it does, great. Hey, even better. And the last one that I'm going to cover is the cake. All right. The cake could be anything. It could be a simple layer cake, or it could be multi-layers. It could be whatever your heart's desire. But the point is, you need to be there. You need to choose, what flavor the cake is going to be. Is it going to be chocolate? Is it going to be white? Is it going to be marble? I mean, these are simple decisions that will affect your wedding, okay? What kind of frosting do you have? Okay, what color of frosting? Believe it or not, that's actually part of the decision. Do you have the traditional bride and groom on there? Or if this is going to be a themed wedding, what do you have on top of the cake to represent you and the person you're getting married? Because I guarantee you, this is important things that you need to do. You do not want to leave the bride to do this, and here is the major reason why. We're going to get stressed, okay? Wedding planning is a very important thing, but it's also very stressful and very time-consuming. If you join us, that tells us as women that you care about this, that you want this to happen. When you let us choose it on your own, that puts more stress on us, makes us more irritable, makes us more grouchy, and you can't bitch one damn thing. If let's just say, my first husband was here, I would be he'd be telling you that I kind of ripped into him because he didn't do anything. I had to do everything. So, voila. Anyways, guys, trust me. On certain things, you don't want to be there. Other things you do, and this is probably the main important one of all. Okay? Like I said, you buy your stuff, you're done. We have to go through a constant process. And I guarantee you, it's not fair, it's not fun. But if you make it with your partner, you help them out, bottom line is you're going to have a happier wedding day. So to recap, today's life little lessons are, first of all, don't go dress shopping with your bride. Bad idea. Just walk away, guys. Don't bother. However, this is number 2, do go with them when you choose the flower arrangements, maybe, and also the cake. And 3, and finally, be there when you both go through the wedding process. Because if not, accidents will happen to you later on in life. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying you might live, you might not live. I'm not saying you might not have your brakes work one day. You might accidentally fall on a knife. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the chances of you let's see, progressing to a nice ripe old age, go up astronomical as long, when you help your bride out there. So, anyways, my badass boys and badass babes, hopefully you take a little bit of something from this little bridal lesson and maybe not make the same mistakes I did. Well, anyways, my badass boys and badass babes, who's your vixen in? Bye bye.